I'm Grayson Pratt. I work with Tesla Motors. I'm in the marketing division. Tesla Motors, by Motor Trend, it's a game changer of a car. This is a different car than anything you've seen. In 2003, Elon Musk, the architect and CEO, pretty much the founder of Tesla, brought together Franz von Holzhausen, who was the chief designer of this car, and told him he wanted a car that could have a 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds, still have all the luxury of a luxury sedan. He wanted to fit 7 in that car, and he wanted that car to be 100% electric. Franz, of course, a little bit hesitant about this project, but just went back, carved out the car, and today, this summer, on June 22nd, the first Model S was released. Right now, Tesla is up to 2,000 employees, which is a fairly small company, but they've already released 100,000 Roadsters and 10,000 Model S's. This is the Model S, which is the standard edition for Tesla. It seats 7, which you may be a little bit hesitant about it seating 7, but it seats 5 adults and 2 seats for children. So there are going to be 2 front seats, 3 back seats, and behind the front seats, you're going to be able to put a car seat or a small seat for a child. It does have different ranges of batteries. So you can get a small battery, which is going to be 4 kilowatts, or 40 kilowatts, and it's going to have a 0 to 60 in 6 seconds, or one that's more of 105 kilowatts, it's going to have 4.4 for its 0 to 60 time. What is better about the Tesla than about most other electric cars is how long it can hold its charge. And the Tesla can go for 300 miles, which is close to 3 times more than other cars, which I'll show you later. The other model is the Roadster. As you can see, it's a very good looking car. It's a speed car. It gets up to 125 miles an hour, which is extremely quick for an electric battery. It also has a 0 to 60 time of 3.7, which is faster than most cars out on the road that are using engines instead of the electric motors. Right now this is sold out in North America, so you can't get it here. They're going to have another production line that's going to come out, I think, next month or the month after that. In Europe they have a couple of cars left, but for right now you're going to have to wait.
Where are the cars manufactured?
They're in California right now, in Silicon Valley. The Model X is the SUV model. This one is my personal favorite because it has 2 different motors. It's going to have a front motor and a rear motor. That's going to give it the ability to have torque and power. So this is an electric car that can actually tow other cars. Many people who are going to be towing on a long trip use a diesel car, but for now, you have a fully electric, 100% emission-free car that can tow other cars to get you wherever you're trying to go. You can go off-roading with this thing. It's a real car, still 100% electric. Because of the dual motors, it's still going to have a fast engine. It's still going to be a quick car, so it has a 0 to 60 under 5 still. And my favorite part about this is the Falcon wings. As you can see, the back doors are different than the front doors. So the front doors open just like a normal car, but the back doors are actually you're going to use a remote, and it's going to flip open completely to give you much more space into the car. Easier to get in, easier to get out. This actually fits 9. So you can have the 2 in the front, 3 right here, and 3 more in the back, and then the same 2 child cars in the back of the front seats. I'm going to compare it to the Nissan Leaf real quick, which is the main other competitor for the fully electric cars. The Nissan Leaf doesn't have much variety in it. You have one design and you can't customize it. You don't have the luxury inside, and you can choose between maybe 3 or 4 colors at your local dealership. And then the battery size in the Nissan Leaf is much smaller. When the Nissan Leaf uses 80 kilowatt battery, it gets a 0 to 60 time in maybe 7 seconds. Very slow car, and it's not a very strong battery. For it to charge in your house, this isn't at one of the supercharge stations, this is going to be in your home. It's going to take 7 full hours to charge, whereas in the next slide I'll show you how fast you can charge the Tesla cars. And with 106 miles per charge, you can't get very far. You can get a third of how far the Tesla Model S can go. It's a little bit slower, not too much, but that's not too much of a big deal. And as I pointed out, the lack of luxury, it's not as good looking of a car. It's just a normal electric car, not very flashy. The Model S and the Model X, which is the SUV and the normal one, have a wall socket. If you just drove into your garage and plugged it in with, say, the same adapter you use to charge your iPod, it's going to take you 60 hours. But if you use the adapter, which is something that comes with the car, which all cars have to use, which actually the Leaf doesn't have, it's going to be using a wall socket, which is why it takes that car so long. The home adapter is going to be 4.5 hours. You're going to have a full charge, 300 miles in 4.5 hours, whereas the Leaf, you can only go 100 miles after 7 hours of a charge. The supercharge are the supercharge stations, which are being put up. They're a lot more in California than they are in Texas, but they're being put up just like gas stations along roads where you can drive up, plug your car in. It takes 1 hour for a full charge and 30 minutes for a half a charge. Charging the Roadster is pretty much the same thing. It's just going to be a little bit faster because it's a little bit smaller of a car. It's a little speedy car. Smaller engine, going a little bit faster. Right, here's my information. If you are willing to be the next generation of drivers that doesn't sacrifice any of the luxury of the cars that you love or the speed, contact me right here and we can get this deal settled out. Thank you. If you have any questions, you can ask me now.